Welcome to Head Wreck, the show where we talk about the things that are wrecking our heads and we talk about the things that are wrecking your heads. I'm John Bird, and with me, as always, is Alan Ryan. Say hi, Alan.
I'm just going to say hi today. No, hi, Alan, this week. 2 weeks in a row.
How are you? You're looking very sporty today in your Adidas top.
No, this is my, oh God, I don't have anything that ready that's not washed.
But that's okay because you don't need
Yeah,
to wash for this podcast. I'm okay with that.
yeah,
I
no,
don't mind seeing your nips. No, I do not want to see your nips.
no.
How has your week been?
It's been good.
Chillax?
It's been good. Yeah,
Good.
it's been chillax. We've had a bit of a mixture of weather here, both sunny, both warm, both cold, both rainy, both windy, both not windy, both whatever you want.
Yes, I am so glad you brought up the weather, Alan.
Does that wreck
For
your
I
head,
will.
John?
No, well, at times, obviously, the incessant raining wrecks my head from time to time, but I took the opportunity. So here go. So we're going to jump right in, right? So I took the
Straight, let's do it.
opportunity to do some gardening. So we have a really, really big hedge in the garden. It's at least 20 foot high.
Well,
Only
for
be-
our American listeners, that's 27 soda cans high.
Would it be? No, it'd be more than 27, would it?
I don't know, yeah, 19 pumpkins high, or like two and a half
19
alligators.
pumpkins, yeah, or half a Ford Rango Raptor Bronco thing,
Yeah.
whatever they are, half of one of those because they are massive. Yeah, so it's about 20 foot high, 20 foot high. I don't know how else to say it for our
Yeah, yeah,
international listeners, but
we could just
yeah,
use meters like a normal person. That's just shy
yeah,
of
I have
seven.
no
That,
idea
yeah,
how
yeah.
many I couldn't tell you. I have
About seven,
no
just
idea.
shy of 7 meters.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah,
right.
3 feet. Three
But
foot, 3 feet or 3 foot in a meter.
3 feet, three footsies.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Three feetsies. I let it grow that high because when we
You do
moved
enjoy a
in,
big bush, I know. I've
I
always
do. I
heard.
love a big bush. I love getting caught up in a big bush. Um, partially because of laziness, but partially because I wanted a bit of privacy, and now it's just
Mm.
gone too far, and I should have kind of let it grow bit by bit and cut it bit by bit. Anyway, so the good weather, I said I would go to my local supermarket and buy a hedge trimmer because I can't afford to go to a hardware shop to buy a really good one because they're really expensive. So 10 minutes in, the hedge trimmer stopped working.
Oh,
I was like,
no.
fuck
It's
me.
like when your shaver dies halfway through. I know you have a big beard, nothing worse halfway
Absolutely
through
no.
it,
It's
ending
never
like a
happened.
tick.
Luckily, I can imagine now. But it was like, fuck's sake, I'm just getting into this. It's scorching hot. I'm listening to a podcast. I'm relaxing, whatever. So I went back to the shop and got the swap, which was great. But they had to put the money. Oh, it's not. It's so annoying, right?
Yeah.
And bear in mind, it was a Saturday, so there's no banks open. So they had to put the money on back onto a card and then take it off a card. So far,
That
the
takes
money hasn't got.
days.
So far, the
Yeah.
money hasn't gone back on my card, but I got a phone call from the bank today because they thought that there was fraudulent activity, and I
She
was
said
like, "I'm
yes
not
and gotten
for."
a free
Oh,
hedge trimmer.
oh my god, I'm actually so annoyed. Why didn't I say that? I should have just said yes
Please
straight
don't
away.
commit fraud, people.
No, don't. And especially not with me because I'd probably fall for it. But the annoying thing was, right, aside from all of that wrecking my head and having to get on, I still on dog shit as well while I was doing it. So I had to get in the
It was
car
your
with a
own dog
smelly.
or was it
Yes.
okay?
I thought I'd pick. Obviously we have a garden, let the
Yeah.
dog poop in the garden, whatever. But I obviously missed one and stood in it. So I had a shitty shoe as well to top it all off. So I was on a bit of a
And the
rant.
smell of it is horrible, yeah.
Yes, it was a sunny day. So today, anyway, I get the call about the fraudulent activity. And I was kind of laughing at myself. But what really annoyed me out of all of that is when they ring you up. So, first of all, I think it's a scam because everyone
Yeah,
thinks
yeah.
any phone call that you don't have the
What's
number
your
of in
card
your phone.
details? What's your
This
date of
is it.
birth?
So
What's
I
your
was
mother's
like,
maiden name?
is this John Bird? Yes, it is. This is your bank calling, blah, 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 details of the bank. We're just ringing about some fraudulent activity. Okay, grand. So before we go any further, can you confirm your details? No,
What details?
you
Tell our
rang
listeners what's your mother's
me.
maiden name and
I,
what's your date of birth?
but
Yeah,
this is what annoys me. So
yeah.
probably 20 years ago, you would have no problem answering that on the phone because it most
Because they
likely
would have
would
known
have
you
been your
personally.
bank, right? Yeah,
Like, how are
yeah.
you, John?
It,
Daryl, how are you?
Jesus, there you
Jesus,
are
there you
now.
go. You
No
know,
money
yeah.
again, what?
Yeah, how's Margaret these days? I haven't seen her in a bit.
But this is the thing. I was like, do they honestly think I'm going to answer that on the phone?
Yeah.
Give us your details. No, I don't fucking know that you're the bank. Leave me alone. Stop asking me for the details. And by the way, you have them. You rang me to say there was fraudulent activity. So sort it out.
Yeah.
Sort it
Yeah,
out.
that's yeah.
And I can't ring back. So I've often thought, can you give me your number
Yeah.
so I can ring the bank
On the back of the
back?
card. Number in the back of the card, I was right.
I know. Anyway, look, it's sorted. I just have to wait for the
How's
money
your
to come
bush
back.
anyway?
But
How's
the
your bush
bush
looking?
is half done.
Okay.
because
So if
then it
any,
started raining. It was
I
like
know,
fucking scorcher.
I
I'm a bit
know.
burnt on the face, and then it started raining after all that shit. Anyway, there. So that
So
was my last
so
weekend in the sun.
if any of our listeners want to send in pictures of their wet bush, you can get us on the social media,
Why?
head
Wait,
underscore
hold on.
rect,
Why wet? Why? I never said anything about a
because you
wet
said it was
bush.
raining. Your
All
bush
right,
didn't know it's
okay,
raining.
but like we'll take a
Keep
picture
up,
of a
John.
dry
Feel free
bush
to
as
jump
well, though.
back
I will
15
take a
seconds on the
picture of a
podcast.
dry one as well. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Has it been trimmed or not? Either or. Head underscore rect
It's
on
been
all our usual
half
social
done.
medias.
It's like 60s. It's like fill in it, right? It's a fill in it
Being
hair.
born.
Yeah, yeah. So there you go. That was the start of my lovely weekend, last weekend. So yeah. What about you? Can you top that anger level?
I do get the whole the bank ring. Like on my credit card, they ring you, but they ring you like 5 days later and going, "Oh, we've noticed lots of activity on your account the last 5 days. We think it could be fraudulent." I'm like, "Why didn't you ring me back 5 days ago? Like, why
Yeah.
wait until you've seen like 5 days worth of stuff to do it? You know?"
And I know that's really annoying. And it's like you said, okay, well, why don't you just try and get some free stuff out of it? So here we go. You
Or
tell
on
me,
the app. Put
can
on
you
the
get
app.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, your card has been
Send
blocked.
you
Go
a
onto the app,
message on
log
the
in.
app. Yeah, because then you
Absolutely.
know this from the bank. Yeah, that's a really
Yeah.
good point. But I'm
We're
really annoyed
changing the
that I
world one
didn't
app at a time.
Alan, I'm really annoyed that I didn't think of saying that it wasn't me so that I wouldn't have had to pay for it. That's really irritating me now. But would that work? Could I go buying a ton of stuff? Because you know the way
They look at the video cameras
your
and go,
debit,
there's only
what
one
do
thick
they?
looking fella with a beard that size in
There's no
Retford.
way they look at the video cameras for all of those because there
Or
surely
actually,
must be
credit card.
thousands. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like
I
on the
don't know.
debit card, you can tap. If someone stole my debit card, they can do a tap at €30.
They can do that
And they can
twice, and then it's like you've reached your
they
limit.
can't even do it
It
once.
counts later. Yeah, 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 yeah.
No, but you can do it. I don't know how many times. You can do it only a few times before you have to put in your PIN. But like, so could you technically buy loads of stuff
Yeah, yeah, that's what people
and
do.
then ring up and say, someone stole my card and you're at home with the weekly shop and you have it done and you have to pay for it? There's a question for you.
We could do a podcast on how to commit fraud and crime, and I have at least 8 hours worth of talking I can do and all that thing. That's what I used to learn how to do. So yeah, to prevent it, just to clarify, to prevent that from happening, I know how to do it. Same as money laundering.
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
whole other story. Whole other
Okay.
story.
Right. And what would the name of this podcast be? Enter your details here. dot com.
I think I would call it dirty laundry.
That's not a bad name. Do you know
No, it's
we've
not.
come up with some really good suggestions
We
on
have.
using it, haven't we?
Yeah, we
That's what
have.
I think we have. Probably the worst one is this podcast. That's probably the worst idea out of them all, to be honest.
Yeah, but we've committed now with our underscore in the middle of our usernames on social media, so we can change this to anything
Yeah,
else
no,
now.
no, we can't. We can't change anything now. But
I've weather related annoyance that I have. That annoys me.
go
It's a
on.
combination of two or three different things, so I'll combine them all together. Is when it's lashing rain, right? And people who have umbrellas, and then they catch you in your head as they walk past you with an umbrella. Now that's one
When you
element of
say
it.
the catch in your head, are you saying by the hook, like you know the way they used to pull
The
people off
jabby bits,
stage? You know when they used to pull people off
the
stage
cane.
years ago with the cane or the hook of
Yeah,
the
the cane.
umbrella? Are you talking about that?
No, don't want to walk past and it spins
I
around and
know,
really, really
yeah,
fast.
yeah.
But
Pokes in
they're
the eye, the little metal bit.
the annoying thing, yeah. And I'm not tall, so it's like it's all the 8-year-old kids going past making their communion, hitting me in their face with their umbrella. Do you know what I mean? That's all that is. Not to say I'm hanging around kids making
Yeah,
their
no, what
communion,
is
but
going on?
I'm gonna move on from now. Yeah, but the annoying thing that happens is I don't get the bus often, right? And not many bus stops have shelters on them. Most of the time, it's just, in a
Yeah,
country that rains all the time, it's just normally just a pole.
isn't
But
it
some of them
mad?
do,
Mad.
yeah, but some of
Yeah,
them do have, covers on them, the busier ones.
yeah,
The people who stand under them with their umbrella, so the people without umbrella have to stand out in the rain going,
yeah,
stand out. That's
yeah.
why you have the
But
umbrella.
but do you know why they stand under there with the
To keep their
umbrella?
feet dry, probably.
No, it's because no matter what way that shelter is facing, that rain is just piling straight in anyway, because it's sideways rain. It's
It's like
just you're
Forrest
getting
Gump.
wet anyway. Yeah, a big old fat rain. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Sometimes rain was raining horizontally.
Yeah, that's really good. Do you know that's a really good? And I was only thinking about that movie because I see it's on Netflix now over here in
That's right,
Ireland. It's
yeah.
probably in everywhere else for ages, but in Ireland it's only on Netflix now. So I was like, oh yeah, I must give that a look. I haven't seen it in like 20 years. How it
I
must be out
probably seen
20
it
years
last year.
more.
1994. 30 years. Maybe
It
that's
was
why it's
out
like 1994. It was
1994 years
1994,
ago.
1994, 95. 1994. Yeah,
Oh
they were
wow.
showing it on the Titanic.
What?
No, I'm joking. He said
What?
94 years ago, which would have been 94
It was
years
the
ago,
big
would have
old
been
fat rain that sunk the Titanic.
1930.
It's a
And it was
great
April
movie.
12th, 1912, the Titanic sank. Sorry, I'm full of random
It was
information.
1912. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
April 12th or April 26th? April 26th, 1912. That's when the Titanic
Oh,
sank.
did we just miss the anniversary then, did we?
Well, missing means you actually cared about it. So there you
Wow. Okay, let's
go.
move on quickly from that.
So I,
Um,
I, I have a
yeah,
related
yeah.
one that happened today. And this really, really annoys. It boils my piss. It ruptures my bags of piss. Whatever way you want to
Boils my
say.
piss. That's a
It's
real good one. I love that in the song The
it, bo-
Scratch.
in the
You know,
scratch.
the band The Scratch have a song called Flaker. If you
Okay,
haven't
that's
heard
what the
it,
scratch. No,
wait until you finish this podcast and then go listen to it. Don't stop the podcast now.
yeah.
So now
Unless
I'm
it
not
counts
going to
as two
say it
listens.
again. So
Yeah.
you have to, anyway. Sorry,
Ring
Alan,
back. Yeah.
go on.
Is so I was
Your piss is
my
boiling.
is boiling. It's currently sizzling. Um, in the supermarkets. Now, I may have mentioned this before. I can't remember. If most of our listeners haven't listened to us for that long enough, so they wouldn't know if I talked about it anyway, so it's fine. Do you know when you go into a supermarket and you stand back about a meter back from the shelf so you can have a look at everything that's in front of you? You don't stand right up against it, but you stand
Yeah.
maybe 2 foot back or maybe a meter back to have a look. Like I was looking at sauces today, or or mayonnaise and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. I was looking for something, so I
The
stand back so
condiments.
the condiments, so I can have a look at everything. And some knob jockey walking just stands right in front of me, like literally in front of me. I'm going, what? Like, what are you doing this for? Like, I don't get
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Like,
It's
do
so
you think,
annoying.
like,
I
what do you
know.
think?
I know.
Like, sometimes I wonder, I'm thinking, going, am I in the sixth sense? And like, no one else can see me, and like, I'm just a dead person, and these people just don't even see me. I don't know.
But right, and honest to God, that happened to me today as well.
Hang
As
on, we weren't in
earlier
the same
on,
shop, are we?
no, no, but
I
like
was
I
like,
was
fucking stupid
shopping
bearded
after work
bastards.
today, and the same thing happened. But like, I'm kind of like, are they wrong to do that? Because they're
Yeah,
literally
yes.
coming in and grabbing what they want. So
No,
let's
they just
go.
stand there in front of you, and then they're looking at this.
Oh,
Going,
okay.
what mayonnaise will I get? I'm like, I'm looking at the back of your head here.
But
Seriously.
to be fair, if you're a meter back, I think it's
Yeah,
fair game, right? Unless you're right up against and you're looking.
maybe a meter. Maybe a meter is more
Was
than
it a
what
man
than
or a
what.
woman? Al? Maybe he fancied you and he was shaking his little tush in front of you and you didn't notice.
So he was an owl lad, and he was the type of lad you'd see. Imagine having the Star newspaper under his arm
Oh,
and little
yeah.
Jack Russell running
Yeah.
beside him.
Just coming
Do you
from
know?
the bookies. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Outside, he has his fag in his mouth going. Just to
Well,
clarify, a fag is the same term for a cigarette here in Ireland, by the way. Just to clarify, like that's a
yeah.
very Irish thing.
It is.
Just
It
to
is.
clarify
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Don't
it
us
is
getting
annoying
banned.
though. So do you do the whole like looking on the aisle kind of game of roulette kind of chess, right? So you're walking along the middle aisles in Aldi and Lidl where they have all this and like you kind of they're the basket, so you have to go against them to see what's in the basket on the middle aisles. And then
Oh
you
yeah,
see
yeah, yeah,
someone
yeah.
coming along and they're doing the same thing, but you're coming towards each other and you have to pretend that you don't see them. So you're not the one that has to move out of the way. So you can still stay gliding along the baskets. Do you know what I mean? Do you
What
play
what
that game where
what
you don't catch their eye? So you don't have to move, they have to move. And you know they
what I
fucking
just
hate you
do
for
is
it.
I just walk around with a huge erection around those shops and just people just avoid me.
And this is why I don't go to the same shop as you. This is why that guy jumped in front of you. He knew, like I said, you were fair game.
He hurt his leg. He jumped in front of me.
Ow,
What was that
Pappy.
poking into me? Actually, you know what? I'm going to something related to in a lot of the supermarkets now. Something being wrecked in my head. Why can't you ever find a basket when you go in? The baskets are all in like big.
Yes.
It's like they're
Yeah.
never by the door. Do they make
Yeah.
you walk in and carry around everything like a bleeding tick and go because
I
you can't
know.
find them?
And you can never find so there's the two types of baskets, aren't there? There's the one that you carry, and then there's the one
Yeah,
that
that
you
you
can
roll
pull
along.
along.
Yeah.
Only insane people use the ones that you can carry. Fuck that. I'm piling a ton of shit into that. And
No, it
bottles of
depends what you're
water.
getting. It depends
No,
what you're getting.
no, no, no. They're too big and bulky. You can't carry it properly. It's like carrying a big kilo bag of potatoes around under your arm. Those
Or
bags.
like
No, you want the ones you pull around, or sometimes I push and pretend like it's a pram.
yeah, yeah, and then you kind of
Um,
gash someone's knee.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the small baskets. So ever try putting like a French baguette into one of them? You feel like Sir Lancelot,
I don't
like
know. I
prodding people.
usually just break the baguette in half or
All
start
right.
eating the top of it. That look, that's fair game as well.
Actually, no. He does
That's
something
fair
really
game,
weird.
isn't it?
This is something really weird. You just made me think of something right there. So you buy a full length baguette, yet you don't eat it from the ends. You eat it from the middle outwards.
No, I don't. Well,
Because you
I
break
do
it in the
because I
middle.
break it in
Yeah.
half. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
You eat it
want
from
to
the
just
middle.
sell them in two halves. But I suppose that's a demi baguette, isn't it? So
I've
we.
yeah, go on, you jump in. I have another one related to that, but go on.
Oh no, go on, because I was going to change the story completely. So tell me, go.
I have one that's very going to jump, but this one is very related. Another thing that absolutely wrecks my head are self-service tills.
Yeah, they're
Just
really,
another,
yeah,
they're really annoying
yeah.
because I'd say about 70% of the time I go through it, I still need someone to help because it's like the
Every
red
single
light
time
flashing on
you're
top.
buying alcohol, they have to tell you that you're over 21. You have to press the button and all.
It's over
But
25, it comes up on that.
which is insane. I'm sorry, you have to be 18 to buy alcohol.
Yeah,
So
but
why?
do you look over 25? But it
I
doesn't
don't
matter
look
if I
over
do or not.
18.
Am I over the age of 18? Then that's all that matters.
That's
Like,
what I
you know.
mean. Yeah,
But
and that's what it says on the screen. Do they look like they're over
challenge
25? Which,
21.
yeah, it's nuts. But on that, what annoys me even more than getting the help is number one, waiting for them to see you,
Because they're having a chat with
right?
their other friend at
Because
the
they're
other till.
chatting or whatever the fuck,
Happened
and
today.
it's beeping or there's a big red light flashing usually on top saying that there's an
Yeah.
issue. So that's one issue that annoys me is waiting ages for them to come. Now, when we say ages, I suppose it's like 10 seconds, but it's still
No,
ages,
Jesus,
okay?
no, I can be waiting over a
No,
minute or
sometimes it
two
can be a
sometimes.
while, to
And
be
the hell,
fair.
and what really annoying then is going, you leading them first, but then someone else has an issue and they go
Oh,
to
and they
them
go to them
first, and you're
first.
going,
I
for
know.
God's
You're
sake.
like, for fuck's sake. But then when they do come, literally no words are spoken. They just reach across and then it's like boop, boop, scan the barcode,
You could
la
be
la
doing
la,
anything.
gone. And
You
they're
could be,
gone. Like
yeah, it's
honestly,
like
like there's
unexpected.
no
I'm in, yeah,
conversation. What happened to
there's nothing.
conversation, Alan? What happened to conversation? I
But
want to know.
do you know what I find with the self-service tales though is going, you could just not pay for something and they go beep, it's the machine acting up again, and just walk out with free stuff, like a hedge trimmers for your bush.
I know, but Aldi or Lidl, they don't have the
That's-
self-service, so I
Do you
couldn't
know
have done.
the ones near me do have not all of them, but some of them
Do
have it.
they? Oh, I didn't think
Yeah,
that was the thing. Oh, there you go.
yeah,
Maybe it'll work
in
its way
Lidl it
down to
was, in
Wexford at
Aldi I
some
don't think it
stage.
was. Yeah, well, in fairness now, where I lived, there's about 27 within like a mile or
Yeah,
like
I know.
points
No,
a
I know. Yeah,
kilometer. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. There's
You
a
know,
lot of them in the country, to be fair. But sure,
yeah.
look, we'd be lost without them.
Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. That's self-service tales. Doesn't that really annoy me today because people don't know how to use them. You put something down, you can't find the weight of it, so you're picking up the thing and throwing it back down about 7 times. Then you're like, for God's sake. And then the person comes over and then you want to pay with a coupon. It says, please enter coupon. It's like, but I've scanned it on my phone. I can't put a coupon into the machine because it's scanned on my
Oh,
phone.
Alan,
So you then have to put
Alan.
a receipt in the thing to
Yeah,
pretend.
coupons,
Anyway.
coupons, coupons. I've had issues with the return coupons, the bottle recycling return. I don't think we can have this conversation again.
No, we
People are going
can't.
to turn off. No,
So
no.
you can go and change subject.
Yes. So we got a message from Anonymous. This person wants to remain anonymous. I know who
Oh,
this
I thought you said
person
her
is.
name was Anonymous.
No, no, I didn't say whether it was
A great name,
female, male or female.
Animan.
And I will put
Or
this
other,
picture.
male, female, or other.
Yes, I'll put this picture on the socials so you can all see exactly what we're talking about.
Oh,
And
I
hopefully
don't even know
you've
this
had
picture.
similar. Send us your similar experiences. I've so overhyped it now, but it's not even. It's just an annoyance, right? From Anonymous. I know who you are, Anonymous. You know who I am. Don't pretend like we don't know.
I mean, obviously, you know who we are. Otherwise, you're just randomly
True,
emailing
true,
random
true.
email,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm shite.
podcasts.
I fucking hate it when shops put paper stickers and everything. They always rip when you're removing them. Then you got to scrape them off or soak them to soften them.
Oh
It
yeah,
drives me to the brink of Michael Douglas in Falling Down. Now,
great
there's
movie
a
by the way.
couple
It's a
of
great
good
movie.
points in that. That's a fucking great movie, by the way. I haven't seen it in so long. I haven't seen it anywhere in any
I think I
streaming. I
watched it
wonder.
about a year or two ago. It holds up. It
It's a good
holds up in
movie.
time.
Well, I think it does
Anyway,
nowadays. It certainly does for this podcast. We should have called the
yeah,
podcast Falling Down, to be
but
honest.
then we'd probably be sued for
But
copyright.
I do no, no, you wouldn't, because that's just a name. Sure, Jesus, many books have the same names, many songs have the same names, many
And
films
many
have the
people
same.
do fall down.
Why does
Anyway, go on.
why God,
So,
why? Yes,
so
stickers
two
on stuff when you
stickery
buy them in
stickers. Yeah, yeah,
shops and they don't come off,
yeah.
particularly plates,
Scrape them off.
glasses, whatever. You put them in the dishwasher, you're scraping for ages, and then even when you get it all off, there's still like gummy residue, and they always put it. It's like I don't know. Have you shopped in TK Maxx? They try
I
and
know
peel
TK
off
Maxx. Yeah, yeah.
their stickers. They kind of have all these lines in them, so you can't pull them off in the shop and like stick another one
Try not
on or
people
whatever.
just please don't pull people off in the shops. It's frowned upon these days.
No, do do in TK Maxx change your
That's why I have my erection in the middle of the time.
You're talking about erections an awful lot in this episode.
So, well, no, it's the same relatable.
It's
Yeah,
it,
and well, the issue with the worst one I have with that is when I buy flowers, and it's like I buy flowers for
oh,
€10, but
yes,
I
yes,
don't want to prove
yes,
how
yes.
cheapskate I am. Rather
Well,
than
I
me,
think
they could look
Alan,
like a
she
20,
just
30 one.
found out how much you're spending on flowers,
She
didn't
doesn't
she?
listen to this. It's fine. It's fine.
She
It's a
doesn't
thought that
listen to.
counts.
Hold on. She doesn't listen to this podcast.
No, it doesn't listen to this
You need to
podcast.
sort that out. Sort it out. We need that extra listener every week.
Yeah, we can get it in double figures. But you know when you buy the flowers, you try to take it off, and you buy
Yeah,
the €10 one, going, I could pretend this is a €25
yeah,
bouquet,
yeah,
and then it
yeah,
doesn't come off, and then it
yeah,
just looks knackery, to use a
yeah. Because
phrase.
then it's ripped, and they can tell they know you've tried to rip it
Yeah,
off. Or do you ever pull the sellotape off, and it always has the little oh, here we go with words
sachet,
again.
sachet,
Sachet of kind of, I don't know what it is, like
plant
fertilizer,
food, plant
plant
food.
food, something like that. Did that ever rip and go everywhere on you? It's so fucking
No,
annoying. Yeah.
no, never.
Too much sellotape on it and it just rips open and you got plant fertilizer on your hands, which does not work on your hands. Let me tell you,
You wake up
my
next to a
hands
huge
did not
finger,
grow.
one really hairy hand and one large finger, and that was it.
No, I have two really hairy hands. But yeah,
Yeah,
stickers,
yeah, I know.
stickers.
Yeah,
Yeah, tell
stickers.
us if you've
And
had similar episodes, similar issues, and
I,
send us your pictures.
I always remember buying CDs back in the day. They always have the price on it, like Tower
Oh
Records. And
yes,
then you take it off because you take it off, it doesn't come off properly. Now it just looks worse. It looked better with the price on it. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean? But when
yeah,
you took the sticker off, it was just left with this white
yeah,
residue. And then and then you rub it with your finger and you kind of get your finger sweaty. And then it rolls and turns into these little black rolling dirt
yeah, yeah,
modules,
yeah, yeah,
basically. Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't know. I think it was
So
the dirt
fucking
coming off my
irritating.
fingers. It was just the
Hmm?
dirt coming off my finger, probably. That was, now that I think about it. I don't think it was the
Yeah,
glue. No, it could be
dirty.
the glue, actually. I don't know, actually.
No, it's
Anyway, yeah.
dirty, dirty, dirty fingers. Yeah, well, I don't so much anymore used to collect comic books, and there was a time when the local newsagent would do stickers, which you couldn't peel off the front, which is so fucking. Or if you tried, it
I
would
don't get
rip the
that.
comic book. Okay, so I commented it to the newsagent, and he was like, "Okay, okay, yeah, I get you." So then pen. Write the fucking price in pen on the front of the comic. Are you having a
I
laugh?
remember that.
Jesus Christ.
Handwritten
No,
prices
you
on the
don't
only wide
write stuff
part of
on
the
it.
cover. It
Yeah,
was always written pen. I
yeah,
forgot about that.
yeah. Like 50 pence or whatever. So
Yeah.
annoying.
And related to that is, look, I get the whole sticker thing, but what's also actually I find really annoying is when there isn't prices on things. And you go, how much is this thing? You're in a shop going, how much is this? And you've no
Alan,
idea.
I swear, I feel like we're connected in some way.
What has
It
happened to you
was
recently?
literally at the weekend, just gone. So after the escapade, or was it before? I don't know, the whole trimming. See, I spoke before about putting a H and stuff. I just put a H. Trimming the bush. I went shoe shopping, and one of the places I went to
Food thopping,
shoe
no
shop. I
H's.
need new shoes, and I went into a shoe shop, and there was some lovely, lovely shoes, and
You
no
look like a
shoes.
man who shops in either Echo or Clark's.
No, but I wouldn't look. I don't care. I have no. If it looks nice and it fits and it's the right price, I'll buy it. I actually don't care
Story of your
what it
life,
is.
John. Story of your life.
Anyway, well, you made this a shit
Yeah,
story. Long story short, there was no
yeah.
prices on any of the
It's
shoes.
so annoying.
Left, right.
And then you go, I'll get these and go, oh yeah, they're €170. You're like, oh, you're trying to do the face where, but going, I'm not fucking paying
No,
that.
but
But you don't look like a cheapskate. You're like, oh, I
exactly.
forgot my card.
Exactly. And my wife was like, well, maybe it's because you can kind of argue the price. And I was like, I know, but I need a starting point so that I
Yeah,
know I
yeah,
can argue from. I was like, I bet you if I see that shoe in Sports Direct, I'll get it way, way cheaper. So let's just go to Sports Direct and see.
yeah, yeah.
But I would have liked the comparison to make
Sure,
it
yeah, of
seem
course.
like I was getting
I
a
do that
bargain.
regularly,
Yeah.
and I think it's a case of going. It's with the cost of shoes now. It's either like €50 or €150, and you've no idea, literally, and that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I kind of think, going, can just buy one of them.
Yeah. The
Do you know the
cost of
way?
shoes is it's running amok. Woo!
Um, that went straight to my soul.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No,
I
I
know.
can't.
Sorry. No, we're gonna have to foot the bill and down.
Oh God, put your tongue
Anyway,
down.
yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, Yeah, so stickers. Yeah, stickers are
Yeah,
shit.
I get stickers.
Stickers are
Yeah,
shit. Yeah. So we'll put that picture on the socials. Just why not? We need to do something. Put
yeah.
something up there
Put
other
something up
than the logo.
with me and you.
Alan,
Yes.
nursery rhymes.
Okay,
So uh you have kids and I
I
have
do.
a kid. So we know all about nursery rhymes and obviously from when we were younger as well. But picture memories recently come up on my phone from like years ago. And one of them was a video of me singing a nursery rhyme, right?
But you can't sing anymore.
No, no, no. It was this little piggy. This little piggy
Yeah,
went to the market. Okay, so I want you to tell me because me and my wife have this constant battle where we're jeering each other over this, right? So this little piggy, the first one, where did he go? Went to the market.
market. This little piggy
This
stayed at
little
home.
pig, this little piggy,
Stayed at
what?
home.
Yeah, and then
This
the
little
next one.
piggy had like bread and jam, and this little piggy had none.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so this little piggy had, I used to say, and I was always told, and I said to my kid, this little piggy had bread and butter. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and this is what I said in the video that came up in the memories, and it started that whole debate. So my wife laughed at me. She was like, "Bread and butter," because for her the nursery rhyme was roast beef, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, so mine was bread and jam.
Yeah, mine is bread and butter.
Yeah,
Hers was
yeah.
roast beef. I was like, "Fucking the hell!" I
La di
must have
da.
grown up on the wrong side of the tracks. Plus, why is a little piggy eating roast beef? That's what I want to know. Well, I suppose why are they eating bread and butter or bread and jam? But it just made me laugh,
No, it's
and we
not. It's
tease each
going,
other
that's a
about
ham
it all the time.
sandwich.
But I don't care.
You don't
It's
know that
either it's bread. Yeah, it's a ham
bread
sandwich.
and butter is a ham sandwich.
Oh, as in
The,
the.
the pig has been killed. One went to the market to be sold.
Wait,
One stayed at home.
wait a
Yeah, do you
second.
not know that? But
I'm
they're
looking.
messing around.
I've always looked at it from the pig's point of view of what they're doing. Are you telling me it's uh someone commenting on what's happening on the farm from a
Pretty
third
much.
person point of, okay, so if I look
Pretty
at it from
much.
that way, this little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed home, so he wasn't ready to be slaughtered, I presume. This little piggy had bread and butter for me, and
And a
you're telling
sandwich.
me that that's a ham sandwich,
Yeah. And this little
and this
piggy
little
had
piggy had
none.
none. So what happened to him then?
Sometimes they were just eating at home. It was just eating plain on its own.
And this little, well, why did one go wee 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 all the way home? Oh, he
Because it was,
escaped and he's running back to the farm. Alan, Alan, you're
yeah,
destroying lives here.
it's all right.
This is okay.
And
This
this
is
is why we have
shocking.
so many vegans now.
Okay, all right. Okay,
This
so
little
is
tofu
she
went to the
right
market.
with
Yeah.
the bread, roast beef? Then so
I've never heard roast beef, but who would eat
listen,
ham and roast beef
nobody
in
has,
families?
and we constantly tease
It
each
was
other about
turkey
this
or
all the
cabbage.
time. I know
This
roast
little
beef.
this little piggy
Notions,
had
Ted.
cabbage.
Notions.
Roast
She has. I
beef.
can't wait till she hears this. Roast beef. I know. Anyway, that just kind of wrecks my head a little bit in a funny way, though. It's like it occasionally comes up when we'll tease each other about it, but it just made me laugh. I want to know what other people say. Right. So I'm surprised you said bread and jam. I'd never heard that either. It was just for me, it was just always bread and butter.
It
So
could be
bread and butter,
bread and
bread
butter,
and
but I've
jam.
just
But
changed to jam
tell
in my
me,
head.
well, tell me if anyone has heard roast beef, because I am telling you, no one has used anything else. It's bread and butter, bread and jam. Fuck your roast beef. And we're all disappointed and really unhappy, Alan, that really it was a narrator saying the poem and he was talking about how all the little pigs were killed. Poor
Yeah,
little
sorry about
piggies.
that. Sorry about that.
You've wrecked many heads today, Alan, my friend.
I have another thing that's wrecked my head recently, and I feel like we haven't spoken about it in this podcast, and something we always talk about in every single podcast. So I need to kind of go full circle with this. This is a very specific statement I'm going to make.
Okay.
Something that wrecks my head is what I call poo dreams.
God damn
Yeah,
it. I thought we'd make one
no,
podcast without
no,
talking about poop.
no, and I mean
Oh,
that,
we were
and
nearly there,
I mean
Alan.
that
Jesus, we were
in
nearly
two
there.
ways.
Right.
Way number one is when you dream about having to go for a poo, and it's always in like a horrible looking toilet where there's no toilet roll, and that's always I always
I
dream
don't
of that
think
like
I've
an
ever
unusual.
dreamed about
What
having
happened last week? This is an insight into my
you
psyche and
dreamt
my
about
life
having to
here.
poo and you were actually pooing in the bed.
No, no, not far off. I woke up, was like, why is my ass a little bit sore? And I had to check my boxers
Was
to
it your
make sure
man
nothing
in
popped.
front that jumped in
The
front of you in
Tesco.
the aisle earlier
I
on?
had to look behind me for that one. Yeah. So I had to check. Yeah. So for me, is going is. Do you know when you have those weird dreams that are so really go? Did that actually just happen? You're going,
Yeah.
have I just defecated myself in some manner because I've dreamt? Like it was really weird. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Well,
That
so
rest
hold
that
on. So you dreamt about needing to poop, and then you woke
and I
up
know and
and
I
your
did go
arse
in
was
my dream.
sore.
And I went and I did, and then I woke up and I went. I was like, "Oh God, have I actually gone?"
And
And
did
I
you
hadn't.
wake? Did you have to go?
No, that was really weird. But I'm not gonna lie, I had to put my hand down and like,
You
you know,
criticized me in the last email, or in the last email, in the last podcast for telling a story where I was caught short. And now you're telling me that you weren't caught short.
court chart.
I don't think I've ever had that dream where I thought I needed to poop and then woke up with a sore
Really?
arse
Oh, that's a
and
regular
then
one when
still
it ended up
didn't
having to
poop.
go.
Clearly
No,
the
but it didn't.
resolution from that is your body and mind is telling you, you need to go
But
for poo, Alan.
but it's so weird how real some dreams are, and you wake up and you're like, "What has happened from this?" I just, it's like it's excellent. Like, do you actually dream? Here, I should have started off with, do you dream much?
Yeah, I do. I kind of have more or less the same dreams all the time, but then I can't really remember them. I like
Really, no,
there's a kind
I've
of a
yeah.
real small window where you remember them kind of when you're waking up, and after that I
Yeah,
just kind
I
of
think it's
forget
90
about it.
minutes beforehand. Yeah, I have vivid dreams every single night, like full on Netflix series dreams every single night.
You should write them down, Alan. And this is
Yeah,
another we just another podcast. What would we call it?
no,
About
I did
dreams.
write it down, and there was called poo dreams, and that's what we're talking about.
That's all you wrote, poo dreams.
That's all I wrote down,
Must
poo
bring it
dreams.
up in next
Yeah,
recording.
poo dreams. You know, but it's one of those when you know if you ever sneeze in your sorry, not sneeze, when you fall in your sleep and your body does that big jump
Oh
in
yeah,
your
yeah,
bed.
yeah. I do that all the time. It cracks her up in bed. It drives her nuts. Although we
You know,
do have a
the
queen
kicker.
size bed, so she can't even reach me
Oh,
in bed, so she doesn't
okay.
really feel it so much anymore. The
You're
kicking,
kicking her in the
the
leg. Yeah,
kicking,
yeah,
Alan. Before you go,
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, but usually, so like usually when you dream about something, don't they say
It means something.
it means something else? So like I think you just need to poop more.
I, no, yeah,
I
I
think
don't
that's what
really,
that means.
I don't really fancy Googling what happens when you dream of shitting.
No, well, I think we
I have
all.
my teeth falling out once regularly.
Yeah, what does this like? I
It's
don't
meant to be a
understand.
sign of
How do
failure.
yeah, but
It's either
how do
failure or
people
death.
know that that's what that means? Because
Some
what if you
fellas
had a
made it
sore
up.
tooth? You'd probably dream about that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, the stress in the back of your mind or whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, but like I don't know why I don't have a poo dream, but anyway, yeah.
yeah, I'm surprised that you said that on national pod.
International.
International, yes, international. Yeah. So this little piggy ate roast beef and then went for a poo in its sleep, and this little piggy
And
stayed
then
home.
trim this bush.
Yeah, nursery rhymes are dark, aren't they? They're
Most of them are.
actually they are dark. Yeah, they're very dark.
Like Ring of Roses about the Black Death.
That's right.
The
Yeah,
plague. Black
in
Death
London.
plague, whatever. Yeah.
The back then in London in
London.
16 something. I
Father's
don't
Head
know, whatever.
episode.
I was thinking
What's
about
the
it.
capital of England? I'll give you a hint, you live there. Why I pushed a button by mistake? No,
Oh,
the episode of Father's Head.
yes,
Yeah.
I do.
London.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
I have
sorry.
a theory, and I was thinking about that a couple of days ago because I was looking at a video game ad, a Plague Tale, which is all about rats, and I'm going to play it. And I was kind of thinking in London, you know, the way they say like there were so many rats and things like that, and that's what caused the plague and
Yeah.
spread by rats. I don't think that had necessarily anything to do with sanitation. I think people were growing, or not growing rats, breeding rats to eat as meat. Has anyone ever thought of that?
Oh,
Maybe
maybe a
that's
good
why there
point.
were so many, because people were actually, because it was a cheap, free food. And like in the wild, and when, people eat rats. So, I
Well,
think
I I think that is
I'm gonna
true
pretend like I'm gonna investigate this further, but I
because
won't.
I actually watched a documentary on that not too long ago, and the rat was on your man's hair, and he was helping him cook in the kitchen. Um,
Maybe that's what they were doing all those years ago. They were training
uh,
like teams and teams of rats to be chefs, and
yeah,
then a
yeah,
disease came out and it all went pear shaped.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
and that's why where
I
that's where
like
from
that.
Ratatouille came from.
That's a really good documentary.
It's a
I
really,
like
really
it.
good documentary. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's on Netflix. I'm sure it's on
yeah.
Netflix or it's on one. It's
I
on
don't
one
know. I
of
haven't seen
it's
it in
on one of those
years.
streamers.
Haven't seen it in years. But yeah, we want to hear all the stuff that's wrecking your heads. I think we've said loads there. We'll put that picture up,
We always
because
say lots, but don't talk about anything.
yeah, but that's the whole point, isn't it?
That's true. That's true.
It's
Yeah,
that
if any
that's
specific
what this
topics you want, let
podcast
us
is.
know.
Yes, do
Because our
do.
first ones used to talk about four things. Now we talk about 24 things.
I know, yeah, and we don't fully talk about any of them. So, there's anything you want us to go back on? We probably won't remember to do it, but we'll try. But yes, once again, as always, thank you for listening, Alan. Thank you for being here. And
Absolutely. And to all our listeners in our many other international locations, I'm not going to say where,
absolutely,
but we have different international locations. Now,
we do.
every week we get someone from a different country. Now, it could be the same person,
We do.
could be
But
drug
you know
smuggler.
what somebody said to me today, because I was only talking about our
Who are you and how did
international.
you get into my house?
No, yeah, no, they said maybe it's people on holidays listening, and that kind of broke my spirit a little bit because I was like,
No, but I'm okay with
hopefully
that.
it's, yeah, no, I know, but I wanted it to actually be people, who are around the world. No, but we definitely do have our consistent people, especially in England and America, which is great. And thank you so much for
And
listening.
obviously in
We
Ireland
love
we
you all.
have.
And if you want us to share some American stories, stuff that we might not even think of over here, do
Do you know
share
what
it
wrecks
with
my
us
head?
at
Americans. But there we go. We'll keep that for another one.
yeah, come back to us on that one. Email us at thelads@headrec.com and hit us up on all the socials if we're
At
there that way.
head_rect. That's where you
Yes,
find
we
us.
love you. Thank you for listening, and we will
Thank
see
you,
you all
everyone.
next week. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Slán.